Hello, assalamu alaikum everybody. Hope everybody's safe, sound, and healthy. And here I am with new rants. But first, after the conclusion of the Nadra affair thingy, guess what? Yesterday I actually got a call from my bank saying, "Oh, we wanted to tell you that we will make sure that the refund gets back into your account, and we're so sorry for the inconvenience." I'm like, seriously? Like, how incompetent do you have to be not to know that you already messaged me about a few days ago telling me that the refund had gone back into my account? Seriously? I'm like, you people are downright incompetent. I mean, forget about incompetence. In fact, I think that is actually a proof of the fact that you people are dishonest and corrupt and unprofessional, and I am going to close my account. I cannot work with you people. Nope. But I mean, as I said before, I really have come to this belief that the one of the biggest mistakes that we made was banks, letting banks grow, letting banks become an important part of our society. Because at the end of the day, really, listen, they're not doing anything for you. They're telling you to pay them to keep your money, which they use without your permission or regardless of your permission, to invest, to grow their own business, and you really get nothing out of it. Don't be fooled into thinking you're getting any profits out of it. You're really not getting anything out of it. They will share with you their losses but not their profits. And there was a reason why banks, especially these kind of conventional banks, were declared haram in Islam. Any interest based bank, any interest based agency is haram in Islam, and there's a reason for that, which is pretty obvious to everybody. I mean, if it's still not obvious, then I don't know how else I'm going to explain it to you. But we need to make the decision to abolish banks and banking system from our countries because, I mean, truth be told, they do nothing for the economy, and they do nothing for the individual's financial um, assistance. Um, I mean, they're just basically making money out of everybody's money. That's just basically what they're doing, and that's why they're here. So they're not a need in our society, is what I'm saying. Not even a want. I don't see why we should have any problems abolishing banks. Well, that said, I also don't see why we need to, you know, uh, cajole people who have deep character defects, and we start giving them these names, and we start calling everything a disease. Oh, well, I mean, if by disease you mean that somebody who's rotten in the heart or rotten to the core, and somebody who's deeply, deeply flawed character wise, somebody who's so weak that he gives into any and every temptation, then yeah, okay, it's a disease. Can it be cured? I mean, the point that you try to make when you call everything a disease is that there should be a cure for it. I don't see any real cure here, for divas and for drama queens. Yeah, I'm sorry. What's the disease here? You know, I mean, you have gone to this extent that we've started calling drug addicts and drug abusers. Oh, this is a disease. Okay, let's just get that straight. Okay, this is not a disease. It is, if anything, it is a testament to your character. The fact that you can easily fall to any and every temptation, that is a testament to your character. I mean, have we forgotten that this is why we were thrown into this world? I mean, that was the whole point here, giving in to temptation and looking for excuses, justifications. Yeah, no. We were thrown here because when Adam and Eve made the mistake, it's not like God said, "Oh, Eve made you eat that apple." No, even Adam didn't even have the guts to say that Eve made me eat that apple. I mean, and God was like, "Adam, you're not a baby. It's not like she forced the apple into your mouth. You made the decision, you're equally responsible. Out you go." So God blamed Adam equally, and he blamed Eve equally. What did that mean? That meant you were responsible for your own actions and your own decisions, okay, and you have to pay for it. And then when he threw us down here, the whole point of this life, this miserable, pathetic life that we have, is that we are subjected to tests. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the nature of these tests are, it all boils down to temptation. So, as God said, I'll test you with children, without children, I'll test you with wealth, without wealth, I'll test you. In short, I'll test you with any and everything that can tempt you. And I will see how you resist it, what you do to resist it. Will you resist it? That is the test. So, to suddenly, cajole all those people and celebrate their weakness, you know, for the, I mean, just to be, I'm just being kind here when I'm calling it weakness. So to celebrate their weakness, the fact that they can succumb to temptation, to celebrate that fact and to embrace them for it instead of helping them to learn that this is actually wrong, you know. I mean, if it takes nothing to start using, it means it can take nothing to stop using, you know. It's called an addiction for a reason, okay? It's an addiction because it is something that you will want to keep doing. But let me tell you something about addiction. Addiction can be anything. Anything and everything can be an addiction. If your brain can easily get addicted to something, it means your brain is so weak, your personality is so weak, and you're so rotten within that you have no self control. Now that's what you need to learn to cure. So if you want to call lack of self control a disease and you have a cure for it, by all means, let's have it. Because that's really what it is. Okay? These are people who are selfish. You have to have a certain level of selfishness in order to go down that road. Seriously. I mean, who hasn't had a tough life? Do you see everybody using it in this world? Go to Palestine. Do you see the Palestinians using, oh, we're in a war zone. Every day we're dying. Our children are being murdered right in front of our eyes. You know, the white people, the Brits and the Jews decided to invade our land and call it their own. And then, they decided that it was legal to just demolish our homes. And every day for 70 years, it's a war zone. So we need to start using, we need to start getting high and throwing tantrums. Yeah. What about Kashmir? Yeah. 70 years, Kashmir invaded by India. Yeah. Now the Jews are going there as well, by the way, because, oh, if we cannot control Pakistan, control China and Russia, let's just go to Kashmir. Let's just demolish their homes, buy their lands for zero amount, really, zero rates, and let's just kick them all out and make our army bases. And the world, we're going to say we're making resorts, but actually we're just making our spy and army bases so that we can spy on China. Yeah, so America and Israel working with India, kicking Kashmiris out of their homes. Amazing. Why aren't Kashmiris using? You see Kashmiris all over the world saying, oh, we come from this really, really war torn area, with generations of blood spilled, our women raped, our men tortured to death, boys killed, our parents humiliated and beaten in front of us. Every day, it's a daily basis. So, that's why we get high. I mean, give me a freaking break already, you people. The only reason you people want to get high is because of that pleasure that you're seeking. And because you can't get it any other way, so you found this way, and so you're like, oh hey, you know what? This is just as good a way as any other to be a selfish tantrum throwing diva. Just get high and make everybody around us miserable, you know. Self pity. Self pity is something that you will find a lot and people. And then strangely, you will always find it in those people who are actually perpetrators, you know. They're actually those who have made everybody else around them victims. Victims to their tantrums and victims to their self-pitying, dramas. And, these are veritable drama queens. The whole foundation, sorry, right there, as I was saying, the foundation of I was interrupted actually. As you know, I like to keep a bit of the background noise, so that it should be as natural as possible. So you might hear a bit of, there's a renovation going on in one of our neighbors' homes, and there, as usual, crows and birds and eagles everywhere. So, and in between I had to take a call, so I had to hit the pause button. So sorry about that. Okay, so I was talking about, narcissism, and selfishness, and self-pity, and it's really all the same thing to me, to be honest. I mean, having to deal with such people basically my entire life, believe me when I tell you, you have to have a certain level of selfishness in order to become a self-pitying drama queen, regardless of your gender. And I've actually dealt with both genders. So believe me when I tell you, I know what I'm talking about. I've dealt with parents who think that because they've grown old now, so they're entitled to give you an opinion about life lessons, when the practical fact of the matter is that they haven't learned jack from their own life experiences. Because I mean, as an onlooker as well as an active participant, I have had the misfortune to see a train wreck in slow motion and on repeat. Yes, on repeat by these people. Like the same mistakes that they made bringing up their children the first time round is the same mistakes that they're repeating with their grandchildren when they have to take care of them because their children come out to be absolutely useless parents. And I mean, the kind of person I am, it's like I'm the kind of person where I always calculate, okay, this I did wrong. If I ever get the chance to do this, I need to do it right. And I'm also the kind of person who would have no qualms about pointing it out to somebody if they're doing that thing wrong again. And I would tell them that, listen, you're repeating the exact same mistakes that you made with your kids, and I'm sorry to tell you, but you're it's history repeating, and you're actually creating an exact same future for yourselves that you already are passing through thanks to your children or one of your children. Because as I said, there's always a black sheep in the family, and that black sheep in the family is the one that is the main cause of all sufferings and misfortune that any family can go through. And they are also the main cause of a breakage in of a family, to be honest. They tear families apart. And they're the victims. I mean, imagine what world we're living in where the people who tear families apart are now called victims. Okay? So we just like to label bad people as good, and we are actually referring to victims as bad people. So this is what the world is now. So anybody and everybody who is a bad person, we have excuses for them. And anybody and everybody who's actually fighting hard not to be victims, we make them the villains. The truth is always hidden under a lot of lies, and we are the ones who made white lies and lies something that is supposed to again be, acceptable. So the fact that we have made so many wrongs right, and the fact that we have termed so many rights as wrong, our whole civilization is in that same train wreck, on slow motion and on repeat, because of that, because of the way we rearranged our values as a civilization. We need to learn to call a spade, okay? We need to know that there are some people who are just rotten. They're built that way, they're born that way, but also they're made that way. We need to be able to work on that, on understanding who are born that way and if they can be, you know, taught some values in life to become more productive, more selfless, more uh, humane citizens, more responsible citizens. And we need to work out on how to help those who are made that way to re educate their minds, to rebuild them so that they can have more healthy lives, both mentally as well as socially and physically. So, the fact that we have failed to determine the root cause and that we just went straight for, labelings such as, oh, this is a disease. Yeah, these are not diseases. If that's the case, then the whole civilization is diseased right now. Do you see any cure coming forth? I don't. Okay, mankind in itself is a disease. I mean, if you're going that way, mankind in itself is a disease. Any cure for that? Yeah. There are some people who are just toxic. Okay, we know that. The fact that at one point we're telling people that they should learn to turn away from toxic people, and then we label those same toxic people as, oh, they have a disease. Let's just help them. Let's not turn our back. Make up your minds, people. Should we turn our backs away from them or not? I mean, seriously? Why is it that some of us have to continue taking responsibility for other people's shit while those people become victims? They pity themselves, the world pities them, everybody's all, around them, oh, they have a disease. So what about the disease that we people are having, taking care of their shit? What's that disease called? Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. That absolutely is ridiculous. Ethics and etiquette, manners, which we decided were not important. The removal of these from children's lives. This is what has made the environment more conducive to having more selfish people, more drama queens, and more people who are toxic and cancerous to others. So much so that they're causing destruction in their wake everywhere they go. And that's why you have people who are technically parents, but they know shit about parenting. And so they bring up more weird personality, broken people, and the obsession with such people, you know. I think the obsession is even greater with those people who endure them. Endurance is not always a good thing. That's my experience. And I have a vast experience of endurance. And I've learned that actually endurance may be one of the reasons why people step all over you. The fact that you are enduring them, you're tolerating them, means to them that what they're doing is right. And that's why you're quiet. That's why you're tolerating it. And so it just gives them, it helps them gain more and more momentum so that, it just increases their shitty behavior towards you, their toxicity, their selfishness. It grows because of your endurance. So I think more than endurance, there should be this strict, you know, um, digging up of the line. You make a line and you tell them you don't cross that. You cross that and that's it. And You should follow through. Yeah, you should follow through. So if somebody is constantly disrespecting you and you've given him a final warning, for example, that you know what, I will not tolerate it anymore. One more disrespect out of you and you're out. Yeah, you're on your own. Especially if those people are adults. I'm talking about adults here. Yeah, you should learn to cut them off from your lives. I mean, I don't see why our society forces us to take care of other people's responsibilities and other people's shit and they call it family. As I've said many times before, it works two ways. You cannot be the only one giving. Who's going to give it to you when you need it at the end? Nobody. You're just going to die living a very miserable, a very bitter life because that's how it is. People who are constantly taking responsibility for other people's decisions and other people's mistakes and other people's lives and other people's problems and other people's shit, you will not see them smiling. They will be bitter because they have not been able to live their lives the way they're supposed to. And to expect it of them makes you an even worse person than the person who's already putting them through all that shit. The fact that you are telling them that what they're doing is so great, so they should keep on doing it because, when they die, they'll get the reward for it. I mean, do you even hear yourself speaking? Seriously? Okay, so if I die after taking care of your shit, tell me what reward am I going to get? A patch of grass and a tree to sit under? You know that exists here in this world too. You do know that, right? So, what is so special about getting a patch of grass and a tree? Is that supposed to be the reward for going through all that shit here? And those people who have put you through that shit, what are they going to get there? I mean, uh, I don't think karma is a bitch, to be honest. I think it's bullshit. How can this be karma that somebody who's done you wrong, suddenly life treats him wrong, but your life hasn't gotten any better? That's not karma to me, that's bullshit. Karma should be the person who did you wrong should go through shit now, and your life should become rosy. That ain't happening. You're still stuck in shit. Who cares if he's in shit? You're still stuck in shit. Yeah, I don't get that. Karma, my ass. Seriously. Yeah. So yeah, I really do think that we are doomed as a species. We're doomed because we're we're actually normalizing all that is wrong. We're normalizing victimization of people. We're normalizing criminal behavior. We're normalizing psychotic, selfish, poisonous snakes. We are normalizing being narcissistic, being selfish, being drama queens, and self pity. Yeah. And the fact that our men are even more useless than they ever were. I mean, we all know men are born stupid. Yes, okay, fine. That's no excuse. What's education for? I thought the whole point of education was so that we could even educate stupid people. I mean, education it has nothing really much to do with your own personal IQ level. It helps elevate your IQ level and your EQ levels even if needed. So yeah, that's no excuse that men are born stupid. I mean, so what? We should make them even more stupid than they were? I mean, they have no sense of responsibility. They have no sense of, you know, pulling their weight around. Nowadays, the boys that we're breeding don't even know how to get a job. I mean, seriously? They want to get married? They're 16, 17, 18, they want to get married. Oh, because you know what, like how you took care of them despite the fact that their parents were alive. So now it means it's your duty to take care of their kids also. Yeah, you don't have a life of your own. Amazing. Yeah. You were born to take care of other people's kids, and you were born to take care of their kids' kids. This is what our society is breeding right now. I mean, this is the kind of these are the kind of girls and boys you're breeding, that you're telling them that, you know, it's okay to throw their shit on other people. It's okay that other people should come and plead their shit for them. Is that it? Yeah. Nice going. No wonder you have drug addicts in schools instead of actual proper students. If this is what you're teaching kids today, I'm looking forward to what we're going to have in the next generation. Very much so. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me. There will be more. There will be more, because as life is, there's always going to be something more. Because people are not evolving, and neither are we as a society. We're regressing. People are regressing. We as a society obviously are regressing. And just can't wait to see what the new generation does. Just can't wait. I'm a big advocate of people doing whatever the hell it is that they want to, as long as they don't make me take responsibility for whatever it is that they want to do in their lives. This is my main problem here. Why do I have to take care of somebody else's shit? You shat? Wipe your ass. Don't tell me you don't know how to do that. You can't even wipe your ass? Seriously? Well, this is me signing out. Wherever you are, stay happy. And I just gave you the source of happiness. Stop taking care of other people's shit. Draw the line. If you want happy lives, stay safe. Again, stop taking care of other people's shit and you'll be safe. And stay healthy. Mental health? Yeah. All these people who go around having mental diseases and making your life miserable, yeah, you're the actual person here. The one who's enduring all of that, taking care of all of that, putting your life on the back burner. You're the one with the actual disease here, so you need to work on your mental health. You need to get rid of all those people. And you need to focus on yourself. They need to be more selfless. You need to be more selfish. And that is the only way we can get back that balance that we have lost. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful life. Khuda